Hello and welcome to MeowMix, a Carolina Panthers podcast. I was actually editing the video that's going to come on shortly after this about Taylor Moton moving on to left tackle, but as I was editing it, Greg Little has been traded to the Miami Dolphins. That's right, the 37th overall pick for the Carolina Panthers a few years ago has been traded for just a 7th round pick. Obviously, he was not in the plans for Matt Rule's era as left tackle. He was really never in the discussion. It was either Cam Irving or Taylor Moton, as we'll discuss here in a second. But wow, what a whiff on a pick. Hopefully he'll go down to Miami, maybe, get his footing there and, stick on a team. But right now it looks like the Panthers were about to cut him, cutting down to 80 people, and they're just at least got peanuts for him. So, on with the regular show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to MeowMix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry.
And today we're going to talk all about Taylor Moton and the offensive line in general, but we're going to focus on Taylor Moton. There is a bit of a discussion amongst Panthers fans and some media personalities about whether Taylor Moton should play right tackle this year, where he has excelled, or move over to the left.
Yeah, move over to the left, man. Just do it. No, I was joking. It's a lot harder to do than just easily doing that.
Yeah. And I think that's the discussion. Is I think a lot of Panthers fans are just move him to the left. He's obviously the best offensive lineman, which is true.
Yeah.
Brady Christensen, we drafted out of BYU, started at right tackle in the preseason game yesterday.
Against second and third stringers.
Preseason game, yep, and looked okay. Yeah, he looked solid. Didn't look perfect by any means. Certainly is not at the level of Taylor Moton.
No,
or even close. But there are a lot of people that are saying, let's just put him there. Put Taylor at the left tackle and run with it. Personally, the only way I think that's a good idea is if Taylor Moton is significantly better at left tackle than whoever Cam Irving or, whoever Trent Scott, whoever we're going to put there. That's the only way I think it works.
I agree to a certain extent, if he's significantly better. But this team's been searching for a left tackle since Jordan Gross, for I forget how many years. It's 6-7 years now. And we may have had the guy underneath our noses the whole time. Why not? He's played there before. Why not give him actual time to develop there? Yes, it's not going to be a right away. He's going to be as good as he was at right tackle. It takes some time. Now, it is a very difficult situation to do, but there's also Jordan Gross did it. Granted, he knew he was going to start at left tackle, so
Different situation.
Okay,
right?
Andrew Whitworth, Tyrann Smith, Cowboys left tackle. It's happened.
Yeah,
and it's obvious that this coaching staff doesn't like what's on the roster, because otherwise they wouldn't be putting him there daily during camp.
Dennis Daly, right?
Dennis.
No. Okay.
Did it? What?
I know you said Daly. It's been a joke. Anyway, yeah. I mean, to me, I think the most. I don't know, man. You're gonna weaken that right side, right? If you move Taylor Moton away from that right side, you're gonna not only weaken it, you're gonna pretty drastically weaken it, because whoever you're putting there is not gonna be as good as a top tier right tackle, which Taylor Moton is, right? You're going to move him to the left. You're probably going to improve the left.
Yeah.
I would imagine Taylor Moton is probably better at left tackle than Cam Irving or Trent Scott or Dennis Taylor, whoever else could start there, right? But he's not going to be a top tier left tackle, at least not right away.
No,
right?
we don't expect him
we
to.
We can agree on that.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of work there in the preseason and at training camp and stuff. A lot of that because of injuries, but he is getting some work there. I don't know if he's working more on the left or more on the right. It sounds like he's working
I think
a lot at the left.
Yeah, I do too.
Wants and get him in here.
I agree. I think if there's ability to go out and sign somebody to do it, but this coaching staff, I know this is the second season, but I'm getting very fed up with the way this coaching staff goes about some of the things they do.
The coaching staff or like the personnel decisions, basically, that you're
A little bit of both.
frustrated
I
with.
mean, I feel like
Yeah.
Matt Rule he made some coaching decisions, bad coaching errors. You talked
Mm-hmm.
about the Troy Pride situation. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there was also some bad clock management in that game. Again, it just seems like I can't put my finger on it, but Matt Rule's making me iffy on him. Very iffy on him.
I gotta say, I'm less excited about him than I was.
Hmm.
I'm not giving up on him. I don't think you are either.
No, I'm not giving up. I
Um,
don't want anybody like we'll get in the comments saying how much we're bashing him, but yeah, I mean, he just seems to irk me. Like, not playing your rookies because he's labeled as a starter. It just seems like a very like he
Are you
thinks
talking
he's
about the preseason game, not playing horn, basically?
yeah, not playing Horn, not playing the guy who was the worst quarterback in the league for the past 3 years because he's your starter.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
First year in
No,
the
yeah. I agree
there's
with
a,
you.
and that's not the only thing. It's a lot of the things he's been saying and doing. It's oh, we're gonna rush out and sign Pat Elflein and Cam Irving first day. What? Why? Why them? Like because they play multiple positions. Can we get them to play one position good? Because they're not. Because they haven't.
I would much rather have a master of one position
Yeah.
than a jack of all trades, master of none type
Exactly.
situation. Which it seems like, and I understand the position flexibility, being able to fill in at other spots when inevitably someone goes down, especially with what happened last year with the offensive line just totally decimated with injuries. But on the other hand, that's not how you build a stellar offensive line. That's not how you build a top 10 in the NFL offensive line.
Yeah.
So, I guess it really comes down to what do you expect from the Panthers this year? What do we want to see from the Panthers this year? Are we comfortable with this being another building year where we're not going to really make the playoffs? We're going to give Taylor Moton time to learn the left side. We're going to take those sacks. We're not going to see the best of what Sam Darnold can be, right? Because of the offensive line, which may be the case anyway, right?
Yeah.
And if that's the case anyway, then why not put him on at left tackle?
And that's kind of my thinking too. Is we don't. If we make the playoffs, that's great.
Yeah.
But it is not expected right now. And let's see if we have the left tackle.
Depends on who you're talking to.
Okay,
A lot of Panthers fans think that it's very much within the realm of possibility.
I mean, it's in the realm of possibility. Sam Darnold, if he shows up and is that number 3 overall pick and looks like it, absolutely this roster can do it, especially with the way that defense looks. If J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson, they show up, that pass rush, I mean, they look deep. I know it was one preseason game, but Marquise Haynes and Etor, whoo.
Yeah, Davion Nixon looked really good.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense, no issues about the defense. That defensive line, they have built that defensive line very nicely. Say whatever you want about the offensive line and the terrible signings, things like that. That defensive line, they have it's like the complete opposite. Like how are they so good at building this defensive line and so bad at building this offensive line?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think that they started with any I mean, they had Brian Burns on the roster when Rule got here, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Everything else has been added since he got here.
And if you think about it, this year he said, "Oh, we're going to build up that offensive line." They didn't address it till the third round. I guess that kind of that's just
Yeah, and we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there were starting left tackles early in that second round when we drafted that we could have had.
Yeah,
that I think we should have taken.
I do too. I mean, I love Terrace Marshall. I think he's going to be a steal. I think he's going to be our solid starter in the future. But I agree. I think we should have probably went and grabbed a tackle there.
They could have always traded back into the late second to grab Terrace Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they easily could have done that. I would have rather had done that and had a starting left tackle or a top tier right tackle so that you can move Moton over and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, and
that would have been fine too.
It didn't even say, like when I watched the behind camp, the Panthers little documentary thing, it didn't even seem like they were really targeting him. They were just dropping back to drop back, and then they were like, "Hey, this guy fell, okay."
They were acquiring assets, which is a strategy.
It's
a strategy, and we've seen a lot of teams do that. But I don't know, with the specific need that they had on the offensive line and those, pretty highly regarded walk-in day one starters almost that were sitting there. So, all right. So, Jerry, bottom line, yes or no, Taylor Moton, move him to the left side.
I say move it to the left side just because I am terrified for Sam Darnold to ever show any show of promise if he can't stand upright, and I don't trust Cam Irving. I don't trust any of the other tackles. At least I feel if we have Brady Christensen on the right side, I'd say, hey, we're trying to build the O-line with him on the left.
It doesn't have to be Brady Christensen.
No,
it can be Dennis Daly. It can be, some TBD, someone to be signed later. But as current roster, and if you're looking to just get these guys snaps at these positions, then Brady Christensen might be the guy. For me, I'm going to say yes, move him to the left side with the caveat, if they can get a starting left tackle, it doesn't have to be a Kung. Somebody gets cut from camp, a veteran making too much money, whatever the case is, and you can sign him for a decent deal. That would be my number one preference. Barring that, yeah, move Taylor Moton to the left side. He's being paid like a left tackle.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
And Taylor Moton will probably love the idea too, because you got to think that deal is about a 2-3 year realistically deal, and then he can try to get left tackle money if he becomes a left tackle.
Yeah, he's still young enough
to
get another contract, and he's still young enough to learn a new position. So it is different though. I mean, we had Jason Hewitt on who played in the offensive line in college. And he told us, like, it's different. Your feet are different. The angles of attack are different. Your hands are different. Like, you have to figure it out. So he needs the reps. And if that's the direction you're moving, don't make it a 1-year thing. Like, if that's the direction you're moving, then commit to it. Unless he's just terrible at it, which I don't think he will be.
No, I mean, he's played it before, and he was pretty solid at it. Yeah. Then they just moved him back. I think, was it last year or the year before? He started a couple games there at left tackle.
I know he did it like his rookie season. He played a lot of left tackle, but I think he's been mostly on the right side the last 2 or 3 years. So, and again, he's great there. Like he earned, top tier money. So, all right.
Well, we want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. Please like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll be back in a couple of days to discuss the Baltimore Ravens, Carolina Panthers preseason game. Matt Rule today said the starters might play.
Oh.
So look forward to that. All right, everyone. Stay safe and keep pounding.